All right, here he is, NBA champion, New Orleans Pelicans color analyst, Antonio Daniels. Brother, what is happening?
What's happening?
Hey, what's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? Long time.
I know. Now, you're not in Orlando.
No.
Okay.
I am not.
And you will not be.
No bubble work for me. We're doing all the games from New Orleans.
I was going to say,
cool.
right, they'll just pipe the pictures back and you guys will do the play-by-play in the color.
Which will work.
Yeah.
Which
that makes sense.
I've been watching it on others, like boxing on ESPN. They've been doing that. It works.
Right.
Here, Anton, look, and we understand you work for the new Pelicans and all that. We got to say, and I'm not saying this is a big injury, but my goodness, I mean, it just seems like Zion can't stay on the floor. And I know it's just leg cramps, but still, hold on, he's 20 years old. He's 20 years old. He's had 4 months off. I mean, Rob, am I wrong? Like, I'm just saying, is it reason for concern, Anton? That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
come on.
Here's my question. What's the reason for concern? This is my issue. We talked about this on the radio show today. This is what happens with micro-reporting. Because now what we're doing is, now we're talking about the fact that he had cramps 2 days ago. That's what we're talking about. That's not why he left the bubble.
I know that. I'm not even comparing it to the family issue. I take that. I take that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm just saying the fact that he's 20 years old, only played 19 games this year, got hurt at Duke, got hurt in high school, got hurt in summer league.
Leg cramps, Chris, is that an injury?
It's not an injury, but I'm just saying,
That's
like,
Rob
it
Parker.
just. It's
Thank you,
not
Rob.
an injury. I know it.
That's
I know,
not an
but I'm
injury.
trying to figure out where is this coming from? Like, it'll be different if something was reported today where Zion was injured. Like, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, the conversation was about the shape that he was in. Now he leaves the bubble today due to a family emergency. I talked to the Pelicans this morning, and they told me that's exactly what it is. It's nothing else whatsoever.
Nobody. We're separating it from him leaving the bubble. That's not the issue.
Okay, so
it was also,
from?
it was reported that he had leg cramps and missed several practices. He had to miss some practices. That's
so
what I'm
my
saying.
Thing. Would the leg cramps have been reported on if he never left the bubble?
Did we lose him?
I think it's very good chance it would have.
No. Come on.
No, not if he doesn't leave.
How they get it? I think it would have, because stuff leaks nowadays.
Yeah,
somebody, whoever told him before,
where is this coming from?
Because I don't. Here's what we're saying, Antonio. Rob, we are not saying he's really injured and that's why he left the bubble. What we're saying is it cause for concern that even when he was playing, he had to miss some practices because of leg cramps? Because, again, he got hurt at Duke. He was hurt in high school. Got hurt at Duke. Got hurt in summer league. Obviously didn't play much of this season. That's all. And then he comes back after 4 months off, and he's got to sit out some practices.
Okay, and this is what I'll tell you. Chris. If this is the issue that guys have with returning so quickly. Not quickly meaning coming back to the bubble. What I'm saying is when you have a 4-month hiatus, you don't know the access that guys had to other equipment, but also you went from playing one-on-one, doing individual drills, getting shots up, working one-on-one with the coach, and you're immediately going to 5-on-5. That's difficult for anybody. Why do you think Victor Oladipo said prior to going to the bubble, I don't think I'm going to play? Because he hasn't played 5-on-5, and he didn't know how his body was going to respond to 5-on-5. After not playing 5-on-5 for so long, your body is conditioned to get up and down the floor. But because of this global pandemic, that has changed things. That has changed your routine. It has changed your ability to condition your body like you're accustomed to. So I
get that.
Zion is not the only guy within that bubble that is sitting out of practices because he's, quote unquote, cramping.
That's fair. Because I was going to say, did we hear about any of the other Pelicans? But I agree. I thought injuries was a big concern coming back. And if that's all it is, fine. And I'm not trying to make more out of it. I'm just asking. It just seems like every few months, there's an issue with Zion. That's all I'm saying.
Antonio, let me ask you just on the injury tip, not so much Zion, but do you expect that we're going to lose some players to injury because of the stopping and the long delay and then coming back and trying to play basketball after such a layoff? Do you expect that we might lose a couple of players or big-name players and they won't play in the playoffs or the finals or whatever it may be?
I hope not. But that has always been a concern because we're in unprecedented territory. We haven't dealt with anything like this before.
Not close,
Guys
right.
nothing close. Guys have no idea because even if you compare this to the offseason, at least during the offseason, you can still hoop. You can go to Houston and hoop with pros. You can go to L.A. and hoop with pros. You can go to Atlanta and hoop with pros. You know what I mean? There are games out there. You can go to different college universities and play with pros. This has been different because when the world shut down, it shut down for everybody. So you had no access to playing 5-on-5. And just think, the season was suspended March 11, March 12, and here we sit in July. We sit in July, and this is the first opportunity that guys have really had a chance to get up and down the floor. After coming back and doing individual workouts, and that is not the same. Doing individual workouts, getting shots up, working on moves and all that stuff is not the same as getting up and down. So for me, I hope that guys don't get injured from this, but we would be naive to think that guys' bodies aren't somewhat at risk here. That's what Jared Dudley was talking about from day one. You have to be concerned with soft tissue injuries because of the amount of time that guys have had off. A 4-month hiatus is a long time.
That is an extremely amount of time off, no doubt.
And Antonio, let's go to the East. Now, there's reports out of Philadelphia that they're going to start Shake Milton at point, Ben Simmons at the 4. Do you like this? We've seen it before. Like when Ben's at the 4, it kind of pushes Embiid out to the 3-point line, which I don't like. But how do you think this will work in Philly?
I've said from day one, I thought Ben Simmons he's a great player, but I always thought he was out of position. In today's NBA, I think he is better suited at the power forward spot in sort of a quote-unquote Draymond Green role, where he gets the rebound, he gets an opportunity to push it. You run pick and rolls with him and give him an opportunity to use his IQ out of the pick and roll as opposed to the guy that's using the pick and roll. That changes things. But here's the question that I have for you guys. What would this look like? Is this Ben Simmons being the power forward on paper, but when the game starts, he is the point guard still? Or what does this look like? You know what I mean? Who's initiating the offense?
I think it'll be – I'm sorry.
Yeah, can we watch this Philadelphia 76ers basketball team in July and August as opposed to earlier in this year and notice the difference in the way that their offense is running because Ben Simmons is at the power forward spot as opposed to being at the point guard spot?
See, I'm with you. I think it'll be very difficult for him not to still, have the ball and dictate the offense.
Right.
I know just because he's listed as a power forward on the lineup card, you know what I mean? I agree with you.
Right.
Well, I think
it's very hard to do that.
I think when he gets rebounds, he's going to push it. And they may even kick it to him on the outlet pass for him to push it in transition. But I think in the half court, he'll be by the basket, at least initially, and then they'll get him at the top of the floor at times. Go ahead. And
one of the reasons I like it, fellas, is because when you're at the power forward spot, ain't nobody tripping on the fact that you're shooting threes. Ain't nobody tripping on it. 90% of his shots
but he can't shoot threes.
10 feet.
Right. He won't be shooting threes.
And you know what? When you're at the power forward spot, it's not a big deal.
Okay, but see, my only problem with it is that because in the fourth quarter, a lot of times they put him by the rim because otherwise teams weren't guarding him on the perimeter, right? And typically that's pushed Embiid out to the 3-point line, which is what can you play like when you played, you could have two guys around the paint. You could have two guys like David Robinson and Tim Duncan, both around the paint. Can you do that now? Because I like putting both Simmons and Embiid around the paint, whether they're both low post or one's high post, one's low, and then the 3 perimeter guys around the 3-point line. Can you do that in today's ABA or today's NBA?
In today's NBA, the floor gets really, really small, and the floor shrinks incredibly when you lack shooting. It shrinks incredibly. So this is a different era where, we're in pace and space. It's weird to think of Ben Simmons being out there with Joel Embiid but one occupying one block and one occupying the other block. I'm not saying it can't happen. But in today's NBA, where the game is outside in as opposed to inside out, it's going to be weird.
That's what I'm saying. You almost could go old school and see if, nobody's going to know how to guard that.
But the thing is, Joel Embiid has to be in the type of shape where he can actually run block to block or rim to rim, as opposed to running from three-point line to three-point line.
Right. I tell you what, if he's at the three-point line too much, it's going to hurt him.
Agreed. I could not agree with you more.
Antonio Daniels, great stuff, man. And look, we with you. We hope Zion is healthy, man. We just saying. That's all.
Oh, no, I'm not tripping. I always appreciate the debates and the conversation. I love y'all guys, man.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you
Peace,
too.
man.
Yes.
We'll see you.